Who doesn't love a good power creep? Oh, hi, everybody. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button. I just enjoyed probably some of the best sleep I've had in a while. And, when I woke up today, I was like, we should probably talk about this new power creep that kind of creeped around the corner yesterday in the form of the last card out of the utility selection pack. The Dominus enabler. The great card that gives you the ability to do all of these cool new little trinkets and abilities that, you probably shouldn't be able to do. So Konami, we knew a while back when they started making the Dominus cards, and we started to see these mysterious monsters appearing on these cards that, well, eventually there would be a potential for, these actual monsters to become a reality. What we didn't expect was Konami would be making them the next breed of hand traps. To be fair, though, the Dominus cards are already working like Dominus, or they're already acting as hand traps in the form of trap cards as it is, much in the same category as Infinite Impermanence. So in terms of design space here, what is the next best thing you could do? Well, what if we make the next breed of hand traps still be tuner monsters? Because that's just kind of Konami's thing right now. For whatever reason, when it comes to like the Ghost Girl design, they absolutely love slapping tuner on these cards for no reason. I don't know why that they feel that, these hand traps have to have tuner access on them, but I guess it's free. But we now have unfolded the ability to go, oh, hey, it's free during the opponent's turn, get your Dominus Purge into rotation. We basically, since we know that there are other Dominus cards in rotation, we do expect that there will probably be several of the other girls joining us as well, which realistically kind of makes sense, right? Because you have the Djinn genie looking girl on Dominus Impulse. You have the giant one that's built on the second one, and then of course on Spark you get to see what looks like the cockroach girl. So I do fully expect that we will be seeing tuners that will work with all of these. Now, the fact that Rose Pomelia is on normal or special gets a set of Dominus or Dominators or Dominus Purge Trap from the deck or graveyard as well. So basically what's kind of breaking this card already is the fact that because it's a tuner monster, this just ended up being Cool Tune support. Who would have guessed, right? A tuner monster that I can cheat in off of part of my combo, get a Songs of the Dominators pulled into rotation or a Dominus Purge in addition to, my combo line, and kind of layer down on that protection. Yeah, I never would have guessed that would potentially cause some problems, because now you're changing the way that Cool Tune's end board is starting to go. Now you're giving them more access into things that they necessarily shouldn't actually have. I mean, looking at this, did you think that Cool Tune should be building into, Songs of the Dominators? Do you think that they should have access to Dominus Purge? That's the question that this is becoming, because on the highest tier evaluated status right now, this is the modern power creep equivalent to, here's your first new hand trap, boyos, enjoy it. The other thing with this is, this also does power up Blue Eyes. All right, I know. All right, oh boy, Blue Eyes mentioned in the great 2026. Here we go again. But the reality of the situation is, this is, the Blue Eyes was already looking to play Dominus Purge within the deck. If we're upping the consistency of what that deck can do, especially with the tools that that deck has, I don't see a bad thing with this, honestly. The problem with this card, though, is unfortunately Dominus Purge was already not an exceedingly broken card as it was. It was just potentially Ash Blossom Light, and now, you're creating a theme around it to basically try to streamline it and make it a little bit more inclusive, And also, to be fair, both Purge and, the Dominuses in general, Konami was pushing for full arts of these. All right. And I guess they've already proven that they have been influential pieces, but, the thing is, like, Spark and Impulse are by far the better Dominus cards as a whole. So I mean, if we're gonna design all of these monsters into the exact same card and say, hey, during the opponent's turn, you know, add a Dominus Spark, add a Dominus Impulse to your hand, and then, you know, discard one, and then on normal or special, set a Dominators, or, you know, set a, you know, the appropriate named Dominus card they're going to have with them, and then provide you with some other additional effect. I mean, these can only get better. Obviously, the fact that Rose Pomelia also has the ability to make it so that your face-down cards, your spell and trap cards, can't be destroyed by card effects, that's kind of free. Now, I can definitely see that they could add some very broken effect. They could also add a draw effect onto one of these. Like, God knows if you add Impulse having a draw effect on it, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is going to break, and they are going to squirm, cry, and just absolutely piss and shit everywhere on the floor. All right. I feel like when you're in the space of creating hand traps, you need to be very careful on the design space that you are pushing here. And especially with Rose Pomelia being the first of what is expected here. Now, somebody's going to be like, well, Robbie, how do you know that there's going to be more? I don't. It's just when Yu-Gi-Oh! Tends to do these sorts of things in the design space, they usually like to leave cookie crumbs laying around. Look at Labyrinth, for example. We still are missing a missing piece for that. You know, look at the Dragon Maid form. That was for Chamber. For years, we were missing that. We were searching high and low looking for that, all right? This is... The question now becomes, since we got this in utility selection, how long is Konami going to draw this out for? Because you have to remember, we do have the Raw set coming here. They could very easily slot this into the Raw set and kind of have them back to back off of one in utility selection, one in a core set. Or they just strictly save this for side sets going forward. But the next side set is the original artwork series. Which they're not going to slap this in there because that has to do with, like, original Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, this might be a thing where we, every 6 months, are starting to get one of these cards, or this could be a once-a-year thing. I don't know the frequency of this, because we also, with how much Dominus stuff we already have in the design space, we really do not have an answer as to how much more they plan to build on this. This has been 2 to 3, probably 2 years in the making now, since they've given us our first Dominus card. They've been kind of trickling in this info and really starting to try to build this up to something a little bit greater. So, I don't know. I wanted to make this video today because it's very interesting to see that this is where Konami's drawing the line in modern power creep. You know, this is the next stage that they're trying to push. You know, we already got exceedingly powerful effects on these Dominus cards. Now Konami wants to make these Dominus cards even more usable. Now keep in mind, I mean, there still are attribute locks on these cards. There still are things that you're going to have to be very, very careful of interjecting and controlling with that could possibly have downsides for you, all right? You know, not every deck is going to want to get, you know, light, dark locked, or, you know, get 4 elemental locked. You know, you have to circumvent how you're choosing to play those matchups for the best possible impact for your deck. Now, obviously, if you go into this and you're like, oh, you know, this is terrible, I don't think I'm going to play this, then don't. This is just the first of many new tools that I expect that Konami's going to try to push on us here to try to, you know, bring these Dominuses, try to get diversity among the hand traps kind of going. Or maybe this is just their want to eventually limit Ash and limit the modern hand traps to diversify things. I mean, that's a theory that, you know, has been talked about for a little while, was, you know, what are we going to do when Konami eventually wants to power creep out Ash, you know, power creep out, you know, the modern hand traps? Just start making new ones, right? That's all they've got to do. So guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. What do you think about the new modern era design for these? Do you think that Sparks is going to be absolutely broken? You know, how are we going to balance Impulse for this? I'm very, very curious. And you guys have a good rest of your day and stay safe out there, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.